All right, foodies, restaurant dreamers, ever scroll through Instagram and think, hey, I could open a place better than that? Well, hold the shawarma because today we're diving into what it really takes to launch a restaurant in Saudi Arabia.
No average tips and tricks here. We're going deep on a guide that lays bare the entire process, and it's fascinating how much Saudi's Vision 2030 program is shaping things.
Not just talking about it, but like directly impacting the nuts and bolts.
Exactly. This guide makes it clear it's attracting huge investments. International brands are practically drooling over the potential. But it's not all sunshine and baklava.
Yeah, figured. Even with all the hype, gotta be hurdles.
Huge ones. The guide doesn't shy away from that. For one, cultural awareness is massive. Like, think Ramadan. The whole country's rhythm changes, right down to when and how restaurants operate.
Oh man, completely slipped my mind. But yeah, you'd have to adapt your whole game plan.
Absolutely. And then there's the competition. It's fierce. Young population, more disposable income.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a piece.
Although Guy did mention that income fluctuates tied to oil prices, right? Plus that new VAT, what is it, 15%?
It's hard. Shows you got to be on top of the whole economic picture, not just making great food.
Speaking of which, let's talk permits. The guide calls it a maze, and they ain't kidding. Commercial registration, municipal license, environmental health. You need a permit to sneeze in this place.
Seems like it, but there's a reason. Food safety is huge GE in Saudi, high standards everywhere. These rules, as much as they seem like a pain, they're there to protect everyone.
Okay, that's reassuring. I'm picky about that stuff. But get this. It's not just the chefs needing food safety certs. Every staff member, down to the bussers, everyone's got to be in the know.
Shows the commitment, right? It's a culture, top to bottom.
So we got booming market, cultural landmines, permit obstacle course. Oh, and can't forget the elephant in the room, or should we say missing from it? Alcohol. Guide makes it clear, not happening.
Nope. But instead of a downer, they spin it. Get creative, specialty coffees, mocktails, make it an event, not just a drink.
Right, play up those flavors. Instagrammable presentations.
Speaking of, that's another thing, marketing in Saudi. Social media is king, especially Instagram, Snapchat.
Seriously, this guide had me hooked on that section. Not just posting pics, it's going live, behind the scenes, that whole vibe.
Engaging with people right now, that's the key. Yep. Some places even do flash sales on Snapchat. Gone in a blink.
Gotta be quick. Okay, but fun stuff aside, let's get real. Labor laws. Guide doesn't mess around here, and neither should anyone listening.
No joke. Visas, those cetization quotas, gotta hire local, huge impact on your whole plan. And employee benefits, not optional.
Healthcare, the works. Skimp on that, you're sunk before you open.
Exactly. Guide makes it crystal clear. This is about doing business right, ethically, sustainably.
All right, but dreams aside, let's talk cash. Guide gets real specific here. And spoiler, Riyadh ain't for the faint of heart, financially speaking.
Not at all. Locations, everything. But even then, they gave figures for renovations. Prime spot, you're looking at 1,500 to 3,500 Saudi riyals per square meter.
Yikes. Hope they got good falafel margins. But, okay, before everyone panics and ditches their gold-plated shawarma spit ideas, there's good news too, right?
Definitely. Guide emphasizes the government gets it. Grants, loans, specifically for businesses, including restaurants. You got a plan. It aligns with Vision 2030 goals. You're in the running.
Okay, so some hope after all. But enough scary stuff. This guide isn't just here to terrify us, right? It's about doing it right. Which means learning from those who did it wrong. And they do not hold back on those cautionary tales.
Oh, no. They lay out the common pitfalls, and these aren't little hiccups. These are restaurant killers. Like thinking you can lowball the costs. We just talked about those numbers.
Or my favorite, thinking, rules are suggestions, right? Not in Saudi, buddy. You play fast and loose with permits, you will regret it.
And then the classic, easy to overlook, bad location. You can have the best food, doesn't matter if nobody can find you, let alone afford the rent.
It's true, though. Okay, so perfect spot, amazing food, all your paperwork's in order. You're good, right? Just toast.
Not a chance. Not in this market. Saudi Arabia, it's fast-moving. The guide stresses this. You got to adapt constantly. They gave an example, healthy eating trend. You better be on that. Salads, grilled stuff, even traditional dishes, but lighter.
Makes sense. People are more health conscious these days.
Exactly. And don't forget tech. This generation, they live on their phones. Online ordering, delivery, that's not a bonus, it's essential.
Website, those delivery apps, gotta be where the customers are, make it easy.
100%. It's fascinating, right? This guide ties it all together. Culture, regulations, then bam, gotta be tech savvy on top of it all.
Man, after all that, one thing's for sure, opening a restaurant in Saudi Arabia, It's not for the timid. Permits, culture, tech, gotta be on top of it all.
No kidding, but you can feel it, right?
Hmm.
Reading this guide, there's this energy, this excitement about the whole thing. Like, Saudi Arabia is transforming, and food's right there in the middle of it.
Makes you want to fire up the ovens yourself. But before we get too carried away, big picture time. After this deep dive, what are we left with? What should people be thinking about, even if they're not rushing out to buy a falafel cart tomorrow?
The thing is, this guide, it's laser focused on the traditional restaurant,
Right.
brick and mortar, right? But it got me wondering, this market, young people, tech savvy, all about delivery, what about those cloud kitchen models?
Ooh, like totally different ballgame, but huge potential.
Exactly. You think about it, lower costs, you can target people directly through apps. It could be huge E in Saudi Arabia.
Something to chew on, for sure. So, listeners, hit US up. What are your takeaways? Saudi restaurant scene got you inspired, terrified, or both? Any trends WE missed? We want to know.
Like, it really is just the start of the conversation. This guide gives you the base, but the possibilities, those are still cooking. Until next time, happy eating, everybody.